Hello everyone, long time no see. It has been quite a while since I posted an actual video on YouTube, around 4 years when I was looking back at my previous videos. And yeah, here we are, I'm back. I wanted to make a video to give you all kind of an update on my channel, update on what I've been doing, where I want this channel to go, and sort of what my goals are for it and myself. So yeah, settle in and we'll get started. So what have I been up to the last 4 years? Really, it's just been living life. I've done a lot of traveling. I've been around Europe a few times in those last 4 years. I made it over to Asia as well. I was in Japan, South Korea, and then I was down in Indonesia as well. I've also switched careers. For those that don't know, I work in healthcare. I still work in healthcare. But previously I was much more hands-on, patient care centered. I used to be an x-ray tech and a CT tech or CAT scan tech. And then in the last 2 years, I've transitioned that into working in the IT side of healthcare, the informatics side of healthcare. They actually need people who know like clinical knowledge of stuff and then who are also apt in technology, which is me. So that was good. I've also bought a house. I bought that last year actually, and I remodeled the whole thing as well. Like I stripped it down to just the studs, just the subfloor, and then I put it all back together. So that was my huge project for the last year. That is finally over, thank goodness. And then that kind of leaves me like where I am now. Like I feel like I don't really know what's next in life, right? It's not this anxiety that I have, but I just don't know the next step. And I've actually spent a lot of time thinking and deciding on what I want to be doing. And that is getting into game development, game design, and really learning Unreal Engine. And so that leads me to what this channel is really going to be going forward. And I know a large majority of you subscribe to me for FIFA and FIFA tutorials. And I just want to like stop and like say thank you guys so much for all of your support during those times. It really does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys so much. When I first started this channel, I had just quit a job. I was going back to school full time for a year, and I was like, hey, let's make some FIFA tutorials. I enjoy the FIFA, I enjoy soccer. Let's make a channel and see where it goes. I will be leaving up all the tutorials. Not that they really get much use anymore, but for some reason people still find their way to them. I'm not sure why. They're looking at FIFA tutorials from 4 or 5 years ago, but hey, if it helps them, it helps them. So yeah, going forward, this channel is going to be sort of a devlog or a developer log and video library of my journey as I learn Unreal Engine and continue to get into game development and game design. And I actually have a good chunk of time spent on game development that not many of you probably know. I actually started in RPG Maker about 6 or 7 years ago, and during that time I completed one game for a game jam. The game was called Fancy and the Fox. It was this super simple game. You play this girl named Fancy, and you just have to go out into the forest and collect these orbs to save your town, and you get this little fox companion along the way. Super simple game. But it was after that jam that I started really diving deep into RPG Maker and working on my own fully complete title that went by the name of Deadstone. I spent about a year and a half working on Deadstone, pretty much full time, and then life events happened. Like life happens, right? And I didn't really have the motivation and desire to continue working on it anymore, and it just kind of it just stopped. It just died. I stopped working on it. It was then 2, maybe 3 years later that I started looking at Unreal Engine, and I started following tutorial series on YouTube to learn Unreal Engine, and eventually made my way to Udemy, which if you don't know what Udemy is, it's a tutorial or kind of classroom platform, kind of similar to Coursera, that just kind of has classes on whatever you want to learn. And I completed a tutorial series called The Complete Beginner's Guide by David Nixon. And at the end of that, I had a working demo of the game, and it was just really kind of get an idea of working in the engine and understanding what's happening. And then it was very recently after I finished that game that I took part in another game jam and finished Amaze Ball, which I think is like the last video I uploaded on this YouTube channel. The goal of the jam was to complete a game completely from scratch in 1 week, and so Amazeball was made in 1 week, and it's very rough, but it's basically just marble puzzle game that you have that we would play as a kid. And yeah, I mean, at the end of that game jam, I did still have this desire to continue to work in Unreal Engine, but I can't really I can't say or even remember what stopped me from continuing to learn. I just sort of stopped. And then recently, I've started getting back into Unreal Engine, and I've stuck with Udemy. I keep working on their stuff. I'm working right now through a tutorial by Christopher Murphy called How to Develop Your First 2 Games. And I just finished the ArcViz demo, which I have playing for you guys right now. And it's really good at just kind of learning the basics of things and getting into the flow of Unreal Engine again. And if you guys don't know Christopher Murphy, he actually works for Epic. He's an evangelist for Unreal Engine, so he goes around and says how awesome it is and everything like that. But he actually knows his way around Unreal Engine very well, and he gets you up to speed very quickly. So what's my goal out of all this, right? I do really enjoy working on game development and having this kind of creative outlet. It's always something that I've always had, between making music or playing music, getting into photography, drawing, painting, dancing. I've always have this kind of creative desire, and I feel like this is kind of the next step for my creative outlet. And I feel like it's something I could see myself doing and enjoying the process of for a long time. I've actually done this before where you ask yourself, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? And I'm 32 right now, and when I was 30 I asked myself that same question. And when I was 30 I wanted to know how to play classical piano by the time I was 35, and so that's what I did. I started learning, and now 2 years later I can play classical piano pieces really without any trouble. So really my goal for game development and game design is to advance my skills so that I can make and share the ideas I have with you guys and with others. And I'll actually be making another video that goes deeper over my goals and dreams and that I want to share with you guys. But that's kind of just the tip of the iceberg, is to share my ideas with you all. And so yeah, this channel is just going to be kind of a place to document that journey into game development, game design, and Unreal Engine. I can't say really what it will turn into if I end up finding my passion in something else, right? Maybe I enjoy the cinematic side of working in Unreal Engine, or I enjoy the world building side of Unreal Engine, and I never really make it to the game development side or the game design side. So, I mean, that could happen, and that could be what this channel becomes. But I will be sharing everything I do with you guys, everything I make and learn as I go. I'll also be rebranding the channel as well when I kind of decide on how I want to present everything. I have been watching indie game development channels and just game development channels in general and seeing how they present their stuff, and I'll probably do something pretty similar to what they do. It works, it's simple, it gets the message across for what you're doing with your channel. And then I'll also have any other videos that I can think of along the way as we go. Maybe reaction videos as they're appropriate, like the Unreal Engine 5 engine trailer. That's something that is not appropriate at all. I don't have enough knowledge of Unreal Engine as it is to make a reaction video to Unreal Engine 5, other than just saying, wow, that looks amazing. But I have no idea if any of this stuff is actually cool or valuable, you know. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or things you want to hear from me, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll see if I can address them in the next video that I do. And again, honestly, thank you so much for the support over the years. I hope you stick around and see everything that's to come. And yeah, just thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all later.